let's talk about something that's on a lot of our minds. You know, that nagging feeling. What would happen to the people I love financially if I wasn't around anymore? It's a heavy thought, I know. But the solution might be way simpler and honestly a lot cheaper than you probably think. So today, we're going to demystify one of the most powerful tools out there for your financial peace of mind, term life insurance.
I mean, really think about that question. How do you make sure the mortgage gets paid? Maybe there's money for college, just that daily life can continue without your income. And do it all without totally wrecking your budget right now. Well, that's the exact problem that term life insurance was built to solve.
All right, so let's start at square one. What in the world is this thing? You know, its biggest advantage is just how simple it is. It's not this big, complicated financial monster. It's designed from the ground up to be a pure and simple safety net. Okay, this one sentence pretty much tells you the whole story. The keywords you gotta lock onto are pure coverage, specific time, and the big one, no cash value. See, unlike a lot of other products, term life has one job, and it does that one job really, really well.
So here's the breakdown of how it actually works. First, you pick a window of time, the term, say 10, 20, or even 30 years. And for that entire time, you pay a fixed monthly price that never changes. Now, if the worst happens and you pass away inside that window, the policy pays out a big, tax-free check to your family. But if you're still around at the end of the term, the policy just, well, ends. That's it. It's pure, predictable protection.
You know, the absolute best way to get your head around this is to think of it like this. You are renting a massive financial safety net. You're not buying an asset you'll own forever. You're just renting protection during those critical years when your family needs it the most. It's powerful, it's temporary, and that's all by design.
Okay, but that simplicity, that whole renting model, it comes with a really clear set of pros and cons. And honestly, getting a handle on this trade-off is the key to figuring out if term life is actually the right move for you. So on one side, you've got some amazing advantages. It is by far the cheapest option. You get the absolute most coverage for your money. It's super simple to understand, and it's perfect for those temporary needs. But there's always a but, right? On the other side, the coverage does expire. You're not building up any cash value or an asset. And as we're about to find out, most of these policies, they never actually pay out. And that last point, that's the one we really need to unpack.
This brings us to probably the most misunderstood thing about term insurance. There is a statistic that when you first hear it, it sounds absolutely insane. But once you understand why, the whole point of this product just clicks into place. It becomes crystal clear. So, seriously, take a guess. Just think about it for a second. Of all the millions of 10, 20, 30-year term policies out there, what percentage do you think actually end up paying a claim to a family? But hang on. Before I give you the number, I want you to completely reframe how you think about this. The answer doesn't mean the product is a scam or that it's flawed. Nope. In fact, it's proof that the product is working perfectly, exactly as it was designed to. All right, you ready? The answer is just 1 to 2%. That's it. Now, for a second, that sounds totally nuts, doesn't it? I mean, why on earth would anyone buy a product that has a 98% chance of not paying out? Well, because outliving your policy is the goal. It's a good thing. It means you made it through that period of your life with the highest financial risk. You know, when the kids were young, the mortgage was massive, and your savings were just getting started. That low payout rate, it's a feature, not a bug. It's the very thing that makes the price so incredibly low for everybody. So now that we get its real purpose, who is this actually for? I mean, this isn't a tool that's right for everyone, but for the right person in the right situation, it is absolutely essential. Here's a really simple checklist. If you can look at this and say yes to all three things: 1, people depend on my income. 2, I have big debts like a mortgage that will eventually go away. And 3, my budget is a big factor, then yeah, term life is almost certainly a tool you should be looking into. Just think about the real-life situations here. We're talking about the young family that needs to replace the salary if something happens, or the homeowner who wants to make sure the house is paid off no matter what, or even a business owner who needs to protect a key person or a business loan. It's all about covering specific, temporary financial risks. But hold on, the story doesn't quite end there. See, term insurance isn't just this standalone thing. It has this kind of hidden feature that can make it a really powerful part of a much bigger, lifelong financial game plan. Okay, this is huge. It's something called a convertibility clause. And what it means is that later on, as your life and your needs change, you can actually convert your temporary rental policy into a permanent asset policy. And you can do it without having to pass a new medical exam. It's basically a way to lock in your good health today to use in the future. It's a really powerful option. So let's just put them side by side. Term is temporary, low cost for temporary needs. Permanent insurance, like whole life, is designed to last your entire lifetime. The premiums are way higher because it's guaranteed to pay out eventually, and it builds up this savings component called cash value. We're talking about maybe $30 a month for a huge term policy versus $300 a month or even more for a permanent one. They're just two totally different tools for two very different jobs. And look at this. It just perfectly shows the difference in what they're for. The chance of a claim on a term policy is super low because you're supposed to outlive it. A claim on a permanent policy, that's pretty much a certainty. It boils down to this. One is for if you pass away during a specific window, and the other is for when you eventually pass away. And that right there is the number one thing to take away from all of this. You have to see this product for exactly what it is. It is not an investment. It's not a retirement plan. It is simply the most efficient, most affordable way to buy your family peace of mind for a specific period of time. It's a powerful tool, not a long-term asset. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about for your own life. When you look at your own finances, what are you trying to solve for? Is your biggest risk a temporary problem, like a 30-year mortgage, or are you trying to build a permanent, lifelong asset for your family? Answering that one question, that'll tell you exactly where you need to start.